This is the Not Bitter, Just Better podcast.
The Everton our way.
Straight from the street end.
Howdy Blues, and welcome to the Not Bitter, Just Better Everton podcast. Mr. Johnny Seven here. Today's episode, we are going to be looking back at the Spurs game yesterday and what a game it was. We will also look a little bit at the Everton news of the week so far, or the weekend, not that there's much of it. And then just a little bit of general discussion around the Bournemouth game and the test events that are coming up at the Bramley Stadium. So, jumping in, Spurs game, 2 o'clock kickoff yesterday, Sunday. Recording this Monday evening. Team news came out about 10 to 1, so the team news has been coming out about 10 minutes early. It's normally an hour before kickoff, and it was quite a surprising lineup when the news came out. Obviously, Pickford in goal, Tarky, Branthwaite, and Mikalenko, of course. But the real surprise was that Jake O'Brien came in, and it was difficult to see what the lineup was going to be. So a few people surmised it was going to be a 3-5-2 with Lindstrom as a right wing back. But when they lined up, it looked more like a 4 at the back, flat back 4. But it seemed to be quite fluid. So in possession, out of possession. So a 4-2-3-1 formation with Mangala, Gay, Lindstrom, Decore, and Ndiaye in midfield, and Calvert-Lewin up top on his own. Spurs lineup, they had Kinski in goal, Dragusin, Davies, and Archie Gray in defence, and Pedro Porro, Bergval, Papi Sarr, and Jed Spence in midfield, and Kulusevski, Min, Son, and Maddison as forwards. And it didn't take Everton long to get going, and Lindstrom forcing a good save out of Kinski, and Everton actually taking the lead. You hear me right. Scoring a goal, and it was Calvert-Lewin. Couldn't believe it. He actually absolutely turned Gray inside out, one way, then the other, and then slotted, sent the goalie the wrong way. Great finish. Well, great play all round, really. Lindstrom picked up a loose ball, knocked it inside to Mangala, who dummied it, and the ball went to Idrissa Gueye, who played a through ball to Calvert-Lewin, and he did the rest. Great goal, and just what an absolute relief. 16 games without a goal before yesterday. What a way to break that spell. Really great finish, and you can see his relief. But it was pretty mad though, because a little bit later on, maybe about five minutes later on, he had a through ball which he headed into his path and then dawdled with the finish and didn't manage to get a shot away. So his overall play though, it was a lot better. I'll come to that in a little bit. The Blues doubled their advantage on the 30th minute with an amazing breakaway goal from Ndiaye after playing a 1-2 inside his own half. When again, bit of a step over, lollipop, go to the right, sends Dragusin to the chippy. And what I said about this, he showed great strength to hold Dragusin off, and great finish into the roof of the net. Great breakaway goal. So in the 30th minute. Also, Mangala forced a great save onto the post. I couldn't believe how many shots on target we ended up having. It was unreal. And then we score in the 52nd minute, the 52nd minute, so it's the 7th minute of injury time. Gray, after playing a part in the first 2 goals, being rinsed by Calvert-Lewin in the first, and then Ndiaye breaking away from him for the second. tops it off with an oggie after Tarkovsky played a good headed across. Calvert-Lewin got a flick on it, but wasn't able to direct it goalwards. But it was bundled in the end by Gray, putting us 3-0 up at half time. And Blues were just in a state of disbelief. Yeah, but I don't think anyone thought we were secure, that we were safe at that score. And then it proved to be the case in the end because Spurs managed a little bit of a fight back. The Everton still managed to create a few chances. Oh, I didn't mention Son managed had a chance from a pullback from Kulusevski in the first half where he probably should have put it away to equalise when we were 1-0 up. So normally he's much more clinical than that. Fortunately for us, he wasn't yesterday. So Spurs do end up getting back in the game. Everton ended up making a couple of changes. I think we can't. I can't really say that the changes, the two goals were as a result of the changes. I think Tottenham did just get a momentum back. Kulusevski scores with a chip over Pickford and the defenders. After Pickford had chased down Maddison, he pulled it back, and then it was laid off to Kulusevski. It was really, really lovely chip, actually. I just wonder whether Pickford could have done better or could have stayed on his line again against Maddison. He did force him quite wide, but defenders, yeah, wasn't the best defender overall, really. And then in the 92nd minute, Richarlison, of course, um, fires in at the back post and took a little bit of a knock at the end as well, and that was in the 92nd minute. So the Blues managed to hold on for the 3-2 victory. So it's a shame about those the two goals that Tottenham did get in the end, but great attacking performance. We could have had more. Calvert-Lewin could have had a hat trick. So it was 1-1 in the first half, which he, I say, didn't end up getting a shot away, and then Lindstrom picked up on a loose ball from Spurs again, and then ended up putting a ball into Calvert-Lewin, and he was facing the goal, but then his touch led him with his back to goal, and he tried to swivel and hit it. He possibly could have laid it off, but if he's getting a bit of confidence back, that's great to see, and hopefully that's a good sign for Everton moving forward, and Moyes can start getting the best out of Dom again. Match stats from different websites are reporting different statistics, but the one I've got here: Everton 40%, Tottenham 60, shots on target. The BBC on Match of the Day 2 said, and we were first on Match of the Day 2 as well. So I don't know, it's unheard of. Everton 5 on target on here, but Match of the Day said 6, and Tottenham 4 on target. So it would have been the Son chance, and then the two goals. I can't remember the other one. Corners, Everton 4, Tottenham 6, fouls committed, Everton 12, Tottenham 10. I think our passing percentage was something like 75%. But yeah, Moyes after the game said we're resilient, and it was good to hang on, and it's getting over that finish line is the most important thing there, and I couldn't agree more. Two very tough games for Moyes on his return to Everton, with Villa on Wednesday, and then piling the pressure on Big Ange. Disappointed with defensive errors, but encouraged by the second half response. He really had a titty lip on as well, didn't he? When he got asked about the same old story, and he had a little bit of a snarky comment on Match of the Day too. So, yeah, great to hang on. So Richarlison's came out today saying farewell to Goodison, and yeah, really, really touching tribute actually. But it's we hope it's not his last game at Goodison. Well, I hope it's not his last game at Goodison, because it would be nice to see him back in a blue shirt there. Anyway, the focus should be on Everton players. Sorry, getting caught up in that. Thought there was really some standout performances. Thought Lindstrom did really well coming in on the right. Definitely a marked improvement on Harrison. My dad next to me is not Lindstrom's biggest fan, but he even made a fan out of him. So, yeah. Obviously, Calvert-Lewin getting back on the score sheet, and overall play. I think I said this about the Wednesday's game, getting players closer to them. And Osman said the same on Match of the Day too last night. Um, Getting those players up in support, getting balls in rather than just playing up from the back, getting balls wide and then crossing in. Just a massive, and mixing it up, not always going wide. So the ball came through, obviously, so from Lindstrom infield to Gay in the end after Mangala's dummy. So a through ball from there, and then just having the bit of individual brilliance from Calvert-Lewin there and a bit of individual brilliance from Ndiaye, mixing it up, very different types of goals. So from the skill in the first two, and then just persistence and like kind of bundling it in, and that thingy own goals must be must be pushing up our top scoring at the moment. So good to see. A bit of a nightmare game for Archie Gray though. Uh, let's see. So yeah, the Blues are back on track. Hopefully, still 16th in the table, but 4 points now behind Tottenham with the game in hand, and the other clubs around us. So Wolves play Chelsea tonight. Ipswich got beat 6-0 by City, and Southampton lost. I can't remember the score. But yeah, bit of a gap now. 4 points between us and the bottom three, so that's really good to see. So yeah, good. Yeah, really, really happy. Great atmosphere yesterday, and it was Retro Day yesterday. So yeah, what I joked on our Facebook about being retro for when Everton were good, and maybe we could hark back to that. And they did. They did it for me. So nice one, Blues. So yeah, so I'll leave that Spurs recap there, and I will be back in a sec with a very, very short Everton news.
News.
So the Everton news. I can't even find any. The transfer rumours. There's not really been that many rumours again this week. There's obviously what just mentioned the Richarlison one. That's more like fans hoping than actually happened. Mentioned the Willian news. Nothing seems to be happening about that. We are potentially looking. Nothing else has happened for Nuama. Um, Looking to sign a creative midfielder before yeah, there's not really that much out there. Garner's came back into full team, but he obviously wasn't ready on um, Sunday. Not quite there yet, but is returned to full fitness. And Lindstrom making a good impression. Starting to look at having options now. So hopefully, Calvert-Lewin will find his shooting boots more often now, and then Beto will start getting a run out alongside him maybe because Moyes did that on Wednesday. Just different ways of playing. It was refreshing to see. Um, Harrison taken out to the firing line on Sunday. That was it needed to happen, didn't it? So Ndiaye is going to continue on the left, but maybe if Harrison does get a chance in future, play him on the left rather than the right because he was so out of sorts over there. Yeah, and then hopefully Garner will be pushing Decore. Decore, I thought had a better game on Sunday and will ultimately get an assist for his exchange with Ndiaye. So hopefully he can continue and to get back on track himself. I still don't know where he's playing though. He's not he's not playing in defensive midfield. So yeah. Um, Other kind of news. The ballot. I was successful for the first ballot for the first test event a week on Monday. Sorry, 2 weeks today, I think it is. Um, which means what I couldn't even apply for the second one. I know a lot of people were allowed to apply for both. For some reason, mine didn't end up coming through. Also, I've seen a little bit about people saying about the price rise for the Bournemouth game and up to 35 quid. I still think it's cheaper than normal match days, but a, a real jump. It's got to be just because it's Premier League opposition, hasn't it? Bournemouth beat Newcastle. Was it 3-1? 3-1 on Clive ended up with a hat trick. Bournemouth are going great. Yeah, that is a really, really tough game. It's looking really tough, that game now, isn't it? So we could have had an easier draw. Man, Keown stitched us up. Um, yeah, I don't really have much more news. Oh yeah, I do actually. So apparently we're looking to bring in a scout from Atalanta, and there has been talk of Charlie Adam joining the coaching staff. Former Red Shite Charlie Adam as a set piece coach. Not a fan. Not a fan of that, and a few have said to me that the yeah they also are not a fan. I just don't want any more Reds. And we, we have had players in the past, obviously Watson, Sheedy, and Peter Beardsley coming making that jump. Gary Ablett as well, but. And the most recent case, obviously, is the Benitez, and ex-Red coming and was absolutely shocking. Dyche being a Red, uh, and yeah, we could just do without it, couldn't we? But there's so much around the club. I don't know though. If it depends, it is the merits of him. Can't Baines do that though? Can't Baines take set piece and surely better options out there than Charlie Adam. Yeah, so. Um, I'd normally say I'll be back in a minute with a preview of the upcoming game. I'm going to do that on Friday. So what I'm going to do is give you our social media links, and then I'm going to come back and just say farewell. So here you go. This is the Not Bitter, Just Better Everton podcast. If you haven't already, go and like us on Facebook, facebook.com/EFC Not Bitter Just Better, or you can find us on Twitter @JustBetterEFC. There you have our social media links, so please make sure you go like, follow, etc. And if you haven't already subscribed, maybe you're watching this on YouTube or through Facebook or whatever, then make sure you subscribe and follow on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Or wherever you listen to your podcasts. I'm assuming it is on many platforms. The only one I can see now, I was with iPhone for years, but now I am an Android user, so I have it through Spotify. So dead easy. I will post the links constantly through social media, but make sure if you subscribe and follow on Spotify, it will be directly on your device within half an hour or so of me posting. So easiest way. So I will be back on Friday with a look ahead to the next game. But as always, I want to thank everyone for listening. And yeah, everyone, thanks again for interacting on through social media. I'm still trying to be. I'm keeping up. I didn't post as many updates as I would have liked yesterday because I had one or two shandies, let's just say, at the game, before the game, and then after the game. So I didn't get to update as much as I would have liked. So I'm going to try and catch up with that today and get more stuff out there. Anyway, cheers, Blues, and I will catch